Hey, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com to get art prints and art stuff like prints from colinmullen.com, and that website will be there, and you can buy art from it like pretty much forever up until the heat death of the universe, or I die, or I stop paying for it. Probably my death, though. colinmullen.com. Hey, everybody. That was morbid. Let's talk about this painting instead. So this is a nice little park near my now wife's parents, I guess my mother and father-in-law's place, and they like going there, but they also live in like New York where it snows all of the time and it's cold and you just can't go outside. And so basically they get to see what this painting shows, like a week out of the year, and not all at once, just kind of randomly. They'll get like a couple of nice days where they can go outside and it's not awful. I don't really understand snow, I'll be honest. I'm from Texas. I've lived in Texas like my whole life, so like I don't really get it. But what I do get is that they like going there, they like enjoying their time there, but they really can't go outside. And it's a thing that you're supposed to give like your mother and father-in-law something as part of like the wedding thing. Apparently it's just a wedding industry, like whatever, spend more money on whatever crap thing. But like me and my wife were like too crafty for that, and she made something for my folks and I made something for her folks, and now I guess they're both of our folks. But my point is that that's what this painting is, and that's why I'm not selling it on colinmullen.com, and that's why I'm not selling the original, because it's kind of special to just them. Anyway, I also really want to quickly say that I apologize for the background bandsaw noises. They're doing some renovations to the apartment, and they work all day and pretty much right up until any rational human goes to sleep. So there's that. Sorry. Hopefully I can cut out the audio to the point that you guys can't even hear it, so we'll see. So let's get on to today's subject matter, and let's talk about why other artists aren't your competition, why you shouldn't have to worry about other artists and what they're doing. There is the exception of the other artists who are actively hostile to you, and that, you know, just kind of goes with life in general. If someone's actively being hostile to you, then, you know, this advice may not be quite adequate for your specific situation, and you need to deal with it differently. But let's for a second assume that there are no hostile people in the world, and just step back and maybe like see, maybe they aren't being hostile to you. There are definitely hostile people in this world, just as an aside, but like let's just step back and maybe they aren't trying to be hostile to you. Maybe they aren't your competition, maybe they aren't an issue for you. A lot of people make this sort of weird assumption that other people's successes are your failures. And I see it a lot when I hear about like, oh, XYZ channel has more subs than you, or XYZ person makes more money than you. And is that really the metric we're going off of? I don't know. I've spoken about like happiness indirectly through like the burnout thing, but I want to talk about like why other artists and why other people who create things are not your competition. Because theoretically, you are an individual person with your own thoughts, feelings, ideas, and you have something that you want to share with the world, and you are talented enough and capable enough to do so at some level. You know, it may not be the level you want it to be at. You may want to, you know, continue making improvements. I'd recommend it. And obviously this video definitely is going to be geared towards what way you want your art to go. I made a video called why are you even making art, or something along those lines, and I'm going to post it at the end here, and, you know, definitely watch that as well. It's going to be in relationship to this video in a lot of ways, because you know, I mean, if you are trying to make it for the sake of popularity or money, there's a limited amount of attention and money that exists in this world. Every person has a limited amount of money that they can spend in their life. Every person has a limited amount of time to spend on media in their life. And so a lot of people seem to think that that means that they are in competition with everyone else in existence. And the simple fact of the matter is you're not, because the art you're making is individual to you. And if you are saying something that someone needs to hear, if you're doing something that someone needs to experience, you're gonna be what they need at that time, and it's gonna fill a niche. It's about filling a niche, you know? Your niche may be hyper specific. It may be very vague, but, you know, depending on what you're trying to achieve, depends on exactly how much room and attention there is. But to those people who need that super specific niche, you are the person who may be the only person making that niche, the only people who are creating in that space. And for those people, you are their artist. You are their, you know, reason of being able to go, look, I'm not a weirdo, I'm not a freak, because there are other people who think and believe the same way I do. And so in that way, like, unless if you're competing on a very, very specific, like, level with other people, like, you're gonna be fine. There are enough people in this world that can see your art that you're gonna be fine. And if you are competing at such a level where there is only like a handful of eyes available, maybe you've shrunk your audience too much. Maybe you need to just, like, I don't know, diversify yourself. There's a saying in pretty much all creative industries, and I've said it to people before when they talk about, like, you know, how do I do art, or how do I stream where people will watch me? And I say, do something new, or do something different, or do something better, is the short version of it. And if you're not doing one of those two things, then you're not going to get as much attention. And better is subjective. Different you can do fairly easily. You can see what's already out there, and you can be yourself and do something that isn't being done. And what that means to you, what that is specifically to you, is going to change. But let's also talk about how other artists should be helpful to you. There are some artists, like I said, who are actively hostile and will try and bring you down. You should not be one of those guys, because those guys, you know, are going to get run out of the industry in a lot of ways, because it's not good. It's not helpful to them or their career, because those connections of other people, and I don't mean in a business sense, like, but just like being able to have friends who you, you know, associate with is good for you. It's good for your art. You look at all of these successful artists and see that they are in, most of the time, groups with other people who talk to other people. Like I said at the beginning of this, we like to think that they're lone geniuses who just completely encapsulate what we think in a certain way and reach out to us in a very specific way. But, you know, there's a reason that they make soda and energy drinks and tea and coffee and, you know, a variety of different liquids you could put into your body. It's because there's not one answer to what is the best thing to drink. There's not even the best answer of what's the best thing to drink that's, like, gives you energy. That's why you have energy drinks versus coffee. There's not the best way to get drunk. There's not a one answer to this. Even if you go as specific to, like, what's the best soda, there are a variety of different sodas. People like variety. They like finding something that speaks to them at an individual level. And so unless if you're trying to copy someone, which you shouldn't, you're fine. Just make the art, make the expression that you want to make, be the person you want to be, and you will find that you do not have competition. Not because you're better than other people, but because you're different than other people. They're doing their journey, you're doing yours, and you should promote other people's work. You should help other artists. You should, because you may not be filling the niche for XYZ person, but maybe they are. People like to feel like they've got a community. They like to feel like they have a home. It's why you have clubs and religions and things like that, because people want to feel like there are other people who feel the same way they do. You know? You can be that for people. Just be you. And now it's time to go ahead and thank all the people that make this channel happen. Without them, without the people watching still, without the people who share these videos on wherever you watch videos and see things, this stuff wouldn't happen. So thank you especially to the people at the $5 or more tier, starting with Wapfu. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you to my now ex-girlfriend and actually now wife, Tilda. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Theodore Corbier. Thank you, Spencer Kane. Thank you, Plex. Thank you, Flenixia Theoran. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, Lost Nevada. Thank you, James at Games. Thank you, Gaizuzan. Thank you, Duxu. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Amber. And thank you, Adam Kearney. Kearney, I'm still not pronouncing that right. Please correct me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for continuing to support me, despite the fact that I can't pronounce half your names. Y'all are great. And if you want to join them, if you want to be at this end crawl here, just go head on over to Patreon and link down in the description. Throw like $5 or more at me, and I will attempt to say your name and fail. Anyway, this is the time of the video where I sign the painting and I sign off. Hopefully I give you guys something to think about, gave you guys something. I feel like it's such a simple concept, but really relating it to yourself and accepting in yourself that, like, you're not in competition. Like, the number of views and number of clicks that someone else gets is not indicative of how much better they are or how much better you are than someone else. You're your own person. But anyway, that's all for me today. If you liked this video, throw me a sub, throw it a like, comment down what you want me to talk about in the future. Thinking up new things can be rough sometimes, and there's a lot of stuff that's super obvious to maybe me and maybe not you, or vice versa. Tell me things that you'd like me to cover. Check out these videos that are on screen now, I hope, unless if I screwed up the timing of this. And I will see you in the next one, and bye!